Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back to Lease Lot Cars for another little update on the new layout, which is coming along very nicely. Thank you very much. I'm not going to waffle on too long. I've got a few little jobs to do today. Nothing big, just a few little jobs. So let's see where this takes me. So now I've wired up one floodlight there. That's good. Still don't know where the other one is going to go at this stage, but I'm tempted to put one here so it comes up, but I don't know. These two lights are both working now. This one, yeah, the wiring's a bit messy, but that'll all get sorted out when I focus on this at some point. And yet again, 18L, there is light, doesn't show up very well. There's light in the red line, so you can see what you're drinking, buddy. So that's good. I'm starting to make headway with the lighting. Still need to sort this out, but it's been okay, but I'm reluctant to touch that box to box it in again in case it loses the connection, because it's a bit of a dodgy connection. So yeah, I've done a bit on the lighting. The next bit I'm going to do is this section here. Now I've cut some foam board to size. Now the plan, I think the plan is for the time being to print out some more of these low relief buildings to put along here, but I really wanted a flat surface to do it on, because over here I've just used bits of card and stuff I've had lying around, and you get sort of bits that don't stick very well. Like you see there, it's all flaring out, so it looks fine. You know, I'm not going to get bogged down by imperfection in this case. So what I'm going to do here anyway, so I'm going to hot glue this back on, and then I've cut out another piece that's going to sit in front, that's going to go like that, and I may continue this section along to the end. In fact, I think I will. So we're going to have, it's really hard to explain, tempting in the future to build a low relief building here. So this will form the background with the light in it. It will have the light stuck on it. It will have background to the windows, whatever that may be, offices, shops and so on. And it will probably come out to about here. So you'll have another piece sitting in front of this with holes cut out for windows, etc, etc, and then the detail will be on the board behind. But I'm not going to do that now. For the time being, I'm just going to put some low relief buildings on. But I could potentially use these and then cut out the windows so you can see the background behind. I might do that. Yes, Lee, print out some of these, cut out the windows, and then have the lighting behind. I don't know. That's a big job in its own right. So for now, I'm just going to get all this stuck and done. And I might give the, what would you call it, like a terrace thing, I don't know, a coat of paint as well. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll crack on with the next bit. Right, well, I think that works well. It certainly tidied that section up because it was really messy underneath. So board's stuck down, board's in place, happy with that. I'm going to give this a coat of paint. I'm probably going to do it black. There's a lot of black on this and I like it, you know, like the black down there and the black around the edge, and it'll just tie in with the strip that goes along there. So I'm going to give that a coat of black paint, and I might even put, you know, like a little barrier in front with decals on. It's all stuff that I can change at a later date, but I don't want to go too far into this project. I just wanted to get the foundations done. So no, maybe I'll just leave it and just give us a coat of paint and leave it at that for the time being. So I'm going to crack on and get that painted. Okay, so that's on and that's painted, and this is all stuck down, so great. I'm going to leave this now because it's all part of another project which will come very soon, all going well. Well, I had the paint out, black paint out, I just finished off those bits there, just tidied that up a bit. So right, time for a coffee, and we'll have a think about what's going to happen next. Right, sometimes things just work out for no particular reason. They just work out, and you know you're going to have a good day. Well, look, that little platform I built there is the perfect size for the race control centre. Already have the wiring coming up through the tube for the light that goes underneath, so it's just literally a case of popping another wire onto that. How about that? Well, I'm chuffed to bits with that. I mean, the only thing is, on the same electrical feed as the floodlights, I would like to change it so it's a switch on, switch off jobby, but for now, fab. And this bulb under here also lights up a little bit of that far end, which is good as well. So yes, we'll call that a success. Well, this is taking ages, and it doesn't look as if I've achieved a lot, but I have. There's been a lot of scrambling around underneath the layout. So what I've done is the wiring that was originally feeding this, which was the floodlight wiring, I've taken off and fitted, yep, you guessed it, a floodlight. And this I've taken off and connected it to this connector here, which is going to be used to light up the pit lane when I do it. And now when we flick the switch on the USB selector, it works from there. So the wiring is as I wanted, so I'm really pleased about that. I've got those two lights done in place. I've got that floodlight just there in place, and I've got two more floodlights, but I'm not going to rush to put them in yet because I'm not sure where I want them to go, and most of the wiring is kind of in place, so it'd be quite straightforward to do. So now all the floodlights are powered from this adapter here. This plug here feeds the, what does it feed? Oh yeah, feeds the USB connector. So this one is now the control tower. What's that one? That one is those lights and the restaurant. That one at the minute is just serving the Red Lion, but we can add on to that connector. What's this one here? Oh yeah, this is the doghouse around the other side. So yeah, all these are functional now, which is great. So let's turn them all off. I've got 3 more spaces. I have got another one of these extra long USB cables, so it might be that I can have some more lighting up here, or even use it to power any lighting I might put on that in the future. But it's good to have options available and space available. So right, I'm chuffed to bits with that, and this is taking shape, so I'm going to leave this for now. I think the next thing I'm going to do is just to tidy up this area around here, try and hide them wires, and maybe put a bit of board in there so the pub sat on top of it with the wires underneath. I don't know. I'm going to have a play around. First of all, a cup of coffee. Right, the next and probably final bit I'm going to do on this video is to address this area here. Now, I don't like having wires showing if I can help it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a bit of foam board to this shape here. It's a bit fiddly because it's sort of in and out a bit there. And raise it up slightly. There's a little bit of scope. Not a lot of scope, but there's a little bit of scope to raise this up so the wires and the connector can go underneath it, and then it will look a lot tidier. And then I can paint, what colour I'm going to paint it, because it really needs to be a pathway there, but I think in my imaginary world you can walk from there to there, artistic license and all that, but all that. So I'm going to take this out, measure up a bit of foam board and get it stuck in there. It might have to be a couple of pieces stuck together because it looks quite fiddly. So right, let's do this. So I've slid a piece of foam board under the track, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just mark it where the cut needs to be, like that. And then I'm going to have to pause this. Had to pause that because I needed 2 hands to get it out. Right, okay, I'm just going, my hand's probably covering this, so I apologise. So I've marked the shape, and now I'll just proceed to make the cut along the line. Okay, theoretically that should slot into place. The other thing I need to do for this is I've got about 10mm to raise it up. I don't think I'll be able to raise it up enough to cover the connector block, but I've got another plan for that. So I'm just going to get a straight cut on here because that's a bit wonky. Like that. And I reckon we'll take about that kind of width. And I won't worry about the back, but the sides will need a piece, so we need a piece about that. Okay, that should do it. And I'm just simply going to hot glue this piece on. It needs to bend round a little bit, so I'm just going to put from about there, I guess. And I really need to change my scalp, my standing knife blade. I need 2 standing knives really. I need one just to use the foam board because I also use it for cutting bits of MDF and it just gets blunt really quick. So let's just put a little bit of curve in it. So I'm just going to fire up the hot glue gun, get that glued in place, get the sides glued in place. While the glue was warming up, I just checked to make sure that this piece fitted okay. And I did have to trim a couple of mil off, but it was not too far off. And then just a little dab on the end. Like that, lift it up, muck it down. My hands are in the way of this, so this is really crap production skills, but there you go. So that's that, and I've measured out a couple of pieces for the side already. So I'll just pop a wee bit of glue on there. Stick one there. Like that. Okay, and we'll pop that one on there. Like that. So there you go. We've got the slightly raised section that should fit the pub. Now I'm just going to go and check that it fits. And I see no reason at this point why it shouldn't, but wish me luck. Okay, that fits perfectly. And I will share a little secret with you, but don't tell anyone, just keep this between me and you. I glued these risers on the wrong side of the board initially. I glued them on the other way, so obviously when you went to put it down, this bit was over here and didn't fit, so I had to take them off and put them on. But that is strictly between you and me. But that fits fine. It looks rough and ready, but I'm just going to paint this section and this section. I'm going to paint it black, and then I'm going to, I might not even bother with this, tidying this up, but I probably will. And then I'm going to box this in simply at the end, just box it in to hide it, but something that's not permanent, so I can move it, because I probably will be adding more wires to this at a later date. So I'm going to take this out, paint it, and wait for it to dry, and then we'll put the pub back on, see how it looks. I'm just using black acrylic paint. So I'm just going to paint just the top half. Don't need to do the back because the pub will be sitting on that, which is good because it means I've got somewhere to grip while I'm doing it without hopefully getting paint all over my hands. Good thing about acrylic paint on foam board is that it dries really quickly. So in the time it will take me to go and make another coffee, it should be all dry. Which is good when you're doing this. When you're doing actual paintings, as in art type paintings, it's not great because the fact that the paint dries so quickly is a hindrance, and it means it's really hard to blend colours together. But anyway, that's another story altogether. It's a bit lumpy and bumpy in here where the cut was done, and it's not a perfect cut, but it's fine. It sort of, paint masks such a lot. If in doubt, give it a coat of paint. I've just about got enough out to do this. I think just slightly dab a bit of water in it so it flows into the gaps a bit better. But you won't really see this side of it, so I'm not too concerned. Okay. Right. That will do. Cup of coffee time. I've just popped a bit of foam board in there just to tidy that back section up, and I'm going to paint it black. I need to address this here now because I want to hide the wires because I hate visible wires. So let me show you what I've constructed. I have made this very strange looking object. Took a lot of fiddling and measuring and cutting and remeasuring, but we're there. Let me show you where it goes now, because I think it works quite well. There we go. It just slots into place. It's not stuck in or anything, but you can take it out if I need to either put more wires in or do any work on the red line and so on. So all I need to do now is to paint it. Not quite sure what colour I'm going to paint it. I'm tempted to try and blend it in with that green, but I can't remember if that's just out the tube green or whether I mixed it with something, and I have a feeling I did, so it might be quite difficult to match that colour. And then with a roof and then green, and maybe I did think about maybe this can be a side entrance or a gate to the backyard or whatever. But I'm going to have a little play around with colours and paint, and then I think we'll nearly be there. Well, I think all in all, that's worked out really well, and I really like the way this covers the wires. You can just pull it out when you need to get to it. So in terms of the red line, apart from needing to put a little step in here, which is a 2-second job, the red line is happy and it's in place, and it's got the lighting inside, which isn't switched on at the minute, but it will be. So yeah, another little section pretty much finished. There is just a little bit of touching up of paint, you can see along here, but this is quite straightforward. I'm not worried about the little nicks and blemishes in the paint because, you know, it's an old pub. It's been around for a while. There's a few cobwebs in there actually. There's probably a spider living in there. It'll be a very drunk one. Anyway, really pleased with that. And sometimes these little jobs are as satisfying to do as doing, you know, the really big projects, the big builds. It's just tying them in place. I really enjoy doing it. And I've continued the black along there behind the Yokohama board. So I think this section for now is complete. So this video has been a really productive session. I've got some of the wiring sorted out, which was really grating on me, if I'm honest. I've got the section all ready for the low relief building, which I'll do at some point, but you know, the foundations are there for that. The Red Lion is now permanently in situ. I've got the wiring sorted out for that and hidden the wires, etc, etc. What else is there? Floodlights. Got those two fabulous magnetic racing floodlights in place. And last but not least, this is more luck than judgment, I got the race control centre in a really good position, and that's one of the things that just fell into place. So there's a lot more to come. There'll be a lot of little fiddly bits, bit like I've done today. There'll be some big builds. There's also going to be some car stuff, because one project I've got coming is to do up a car. And I've not really done that before. Now, my old friend Gary Slater, sent me a car, and it's a pretty basic standard car, but he sent me it on the premise that I was to paint it, modify it, so it was in Golf livery. So I've got that to do. Now that is something completely out of my comfort zone, because I've not really done that before. So that's going to be interesting. But that'll be in a few weeks' time. I'm going to address that one, because I need to try and get some water slide decals for that. Anyway, this has probably gone on a bit longer than I would normally do, so I'm going to cut it here and say thanks for watching, guys, and look forward to doing my next video. But in the meantime, you all take care, my friends. Bye bye now.